Hello everyone, we begin with the second phase of the poem A Roadside Stand. In this phase, I would interpret the lines from 23 to 43. So the text from the poem is, "It is in the news that all these pitiful kin are to be bought out and mercifully gathered in, to live in villages next to the theatre and the store, where they won't have to think for themselves any more, while greedy good doers, beneficent beasts of prey, swam over their lives enforcing benefits that are calculated to soothe them out of their wits, and by teaching them how to sleep, they sleep all day, destroy their sleeping at night the ancient way." So the poet in these lines, that is the lines from 23 to 31, wants to convey that it is in the news that pitiful kin, a reference to the villagers whose property is going to be bought out at very cheap prices, and they will be rehabilitated or say accommodated near the village next to the theatre or store, where they so-called farmers don't have to worry about themselves. What Frost further says is the intention of the benefactors, so-called greedy good doers and beneficent beasts of prey, is to fleece, that is to say, to deprive of the property of the poor villagers. You can notice the apt use of alliteration and oxymoron. Well, oxymoron means having two different ideas. So in these two expressions, the poet is trying to convey the meaning effectively. Also do note the lines, "swam over their lives, enforcing benefits that are calculated to soothe them out of their wits." Now the poet wants to convey that by implementing or alluring them with benefits, the greedy good doers are going to do the trick, the poor victims, and make them feel relaxed, thus not allowing them to use their common sense. Now these beneficent beasts of prey, instead of providing the poor villagers a good sleep, would destroy their sleep by their manipulative tactics, or you can say they would do the trick to their advantage, as has been done since time immemorial or since ages. Well, we move on to the next text, that is, "Sometimes I feel myself I can hardly bear the thoughts of so much childish longing in vain, the sadness that lurks near the open window there, that waits all day in almost open prayer for the squeal of brakes, the sound of stopping car, of all the thousand selfish cars that pass, just want to inquire what a farmer's prices are, and one did stop, but only to plough up grass, in using the yard to back and turn around, and another to ask the way to where it was bound, and another to ask could they sell it a gallon of gas? They couldn't, they had none, didn't it? See?" And in these lines from 32 to 43, the poet tells that he cannot bear the pain and poor state of the farmer at the roadside stand. The childish longing refers to the poet's melancholic or sad desire for the cars to stop and buy the goods of the farmers, but it is in vain, means futile or fruitless, since they do not stop. You may also note the line, "the sadness that lurks near the open window," where sadness is an example of personification, because sadness dwells or lives in windows of the farmers. as they wait for the cars to stop and buy their goods. And they wait for the whole day in an open prayer for the cars to stop. Also, make a note of the expression selfish cars, a transferred epithet referring to the car owners who are selfish and do not stop at the roadside stand. And if they stop, they do so just to inquire about the price of the goods or to use the yard to back and turn around the car, or either to ask for direction or for a gallon of gas. Well, gas is a reference to petrol over here, and it appears strange of these car owners who ask for the things which aren't available there. That is so insensitive of the car owners. So this was the second phase of the poem A Roadside Stand. We will continue further from the lines 44 to 51 in the next video. Thank you.